I've wanted to talk about a subject, and I figured the recent super quote-unquote controversy would actually be a good segue. On a side note, why is this word even written like this? Like, can English make sense for one? Anyway, I'm sure you've seen the controversy by now, but let's divide this video in multiple points. Basically, Supa was arguing that Closure was just a decent unit instead of one that is batshit insane like Exousia Alter, Silver Alter or Wong. Some people retort that she was, in fact, insane, and showed a funny combo involving her that allowed her to deploy your entire team in a range with S2 right from the beginning of the map, to which Supa simply answered that this has only meme potential. Supa is completely right. Generating DP has never been an issue at all since Flagpipe was a thing. Ines and Silver Alter made generating DP even easier, and apart from some extremely high CC with some specific risks, or maybe in Reclamation algorithm where deploying your units faster means you can gather resources faster, I can't see any point to this. In IS only, because that's the mode this channel specializes in, if you have 1 billion attack speed in IS-5, your server generates 1 billion DP anyway. And in other IS with less crazy stuff, I can't really think of many specific stages where this is more relevant than opening with Ines or Silver Alter. What's that? Did I mention specific stages? Well, funny you're asking. It seems pretty obvious for those who watch my IS viability preview analysis, but notice how I rarely talk about very vague, even ethereal stuff like that unit is good or bad, and how I usually go all the way to try and find some applications for specific stages. Stages with drones, stages with bosses, relic synergy, and so on. For example, in my Closure analysis, I actually yapped way more about S1, a skill that can give a shield every 16 seconds maximum to your summon in another operator, which could allow to tank Yi or Wong, rather than talking about S2, which only seems like a decent opener to me, which slowly brings me to the main point of this video. Lately, I received some comments asking me why don't I make longer videos to explain more ins and outs of IS and its intricacies. The side answer I've had to this is, IS has way too many intricacies. There are weird interactions and weird combos everywhere, like fucking Durin being a meta unit because it's a caster that would take a useless caster slot in a Hand of Rumble team that Rosmontes can actually use to summon pillars because it's the cheapest caster with a normal redeployment cooldown. Did it just sound like I just spoke Chinese and that seems like a completely useless comment for the vast majority of players? Yes, because it is, but that's not even the main answer. My main answer is, I don't want to be holding your hand. IS and Arknights in general is a complex game mode with tons of powerful interactions for you to discover, and I feel that 99.9% of the showcases with 5 quotes on YouTube do an extremely poor job at this. Like, yeah, let me watch the 100th fight against Patriots or the 300th fight against Origium Slugs, surely this will teach me a lot about the ins and outs of this unit. To illustrate this point, when Huheyak Alpha module was released, barely anyone talked about it, and most people disregarded it in favor of Gnosis, and I feel like it's a mistake, because this is the best way to not know what you can do. Here's the best example I can find. Huheyak says you have 1 extra HP on each fight, so what happens if you leak 1 enemy in the Remnant of Consciousness? Interesting, isn't it? I tried looking it up. I saw literally no showcase of this. The wiki doesn't mention anything about this. It's like people don't know that you can do that. I know some smart asses will come at me saying, yeah, but this is obvious. After all, it says that you have 1 extra life point. Yeah, okay, buddy. How many among you knew this worked like that before seeing it? Yeah, that's what I thought. My main point is, log off. Stop watching useless quote-unquote showcases on YouTube and play the fucking game. This is already something I talked about in another video. I feel like too many people have opinions about stuff they actually don't even know about. And the reason is they actually don't play the units and prefer watching new units against Patriot or Slugs all day instead. No, this is not how you learn how to play the game. That's like saying you learn how to drive by watching people driving. This is also why I really don't like tier lists, despite having done one myself a long time ago, and prefer stating what units are good in what role or in what specific situations. Another illustration of what I literally just said is, I swear to God, I just typed Arknights tier list on Google, opened the first YouTube YouTube link, went on a random frame, and this is what I saw. Okay, now explain to me why Blue Poison is better than Mei. In what situation? What are her main points compared to Mei? What are Mei's main points compared to BP? Because only by head, I can think of easily 5 points why I would want to upgrade Mei instead of Blue Poison. Don't get it twisted, I have nothing against this type of content. It's good slop to consume, but it's ultimately supremely uninformative. In order to know if a unit is good or not, what they can do that other units can't, and what are their main selling points, there is only one option: play them. And that's about it for this video, guys. This was my take, not really on the controversy itself, but on a broader scale as to what you should do in my opinion. I think giving a definite evaluation about a unit barely 24 hours after it got released is pretty meaningless, as there's way too many contents to try them on. And maybe they have a secret application somewhere that everybody disregarded. And instead of having meaningless wars of who is right or not, I think it's best to wait a bit and see how things go for said units. Anyway, if you like this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.